Live. Welcome everybody, Dan Latto speaking. Today is Wednesday the 25th and it is the Property Cash Flow Show. Welcome. Today we're going to talk about property sourcing, houses of multiple occupation. We're going to cover Article 4 as well, so you can take this down as a little bit of training for you. And so the reason why we're going to talk about this today is that this came about from a post that I saw on Facebook, and it was a person who was presenting a deal to be sold. Interestingly, I wonder if I can just pull up that post now. Let's just have a quick look. Let's just see very quickly if we can pull it up, because it was just the way it was presented and it caused me a few issues. I might not be able to find it, by the way, but it caused me a few issues because the guy was trying to sell something that isn't possible to be sold. And as property sources, we've really got to check on this. I mean, this is like really basic stuff. It's like, if you don't get this right, then, you know, you're not doing your clients a service at all. I can't find it, needless to say, but you're not doing your clients a service at all. It's like, so let me put the background to it. So I'm on Facebook and there's a guy selling a HMO, which is fine. Not a problem at all. It's sourced the HMO deal. HMO is a house of multiple occupation. This way you got maybe 5 or 6 bedrooms and you rent out each individual room, and that's fine. So he'd found this deal. He's negotiated with a landlord, I expect. But there was one glaring problem, and that is that the location, which was Beeston in Leeds. Now, I'm from Leeds, and I haven't actually got any properties in Beeston, but one of my clients has, Joe. If you're watching, say hi, Joe. So Joe Fox really knows the stuff. She's in Leeds from a company called Invest Leeds. If you don't know of Joe and you're looking for deals, she's got loads of deals. Go speak to Joe. But it wasn't Joe that posted this, but somebody else had posted this, and it was HMO in Beeston. And I'm like, is that not Article 4? Now, Article 4 means that you cannot rent or have a HMO, a house of multiple occupation. Now, Hare Hills in Leeds has got some Article 4, and Article 4 is all over the bloody place. And it's basically because the scourge of HMOs, from a council's point of view, they don't like a lot of, rooms in houses with 5 or 6 people per house. They don't like a lot of them. They want some of them because it actually ties into their planning, and I'm going to talk about that in a second as well. It ties into their planning and the type of households that they have in a particular area. But, you know, HMOs, everybody went for HMOs. And so there was a massive growth in HMOs. And in order to slow that down, the council's brought in Article 4 to try and maintain a certain level. And I also think it's quite sad as well. You have a big 6-bedroom house and we're all being split up into flats and split up into HMOs. And, you know, there's a lack of big 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-bedroom houses these days because everyone's splitting them, slicing and dicing them into smaller units to make more money. And I understand both sides as to why they do that. But this is the thing. If you're doing this as a property sourcer, you're really not helping yourself. Because first of all, you're going to get people like me going, hang on a minute, isn't that Article 4? And that does a couple of things. The first thing it does is that it shows that the person who's promoting this HMO in an Article 4 area doesn't understand Article 4, or they haven't checked if it's in an Article 4 area, or they don't care. So they don't know, they don't know what Article 4 is, they don't know if it's in an Article 4 area, or they do know, but they don't care, they just want to sell a deal. Any of those 3 items means that as a property sourcer, that's not somebody you want to be doing business with. So it's damaging your reputation. And your reputation is everything. There was a line in the Tina Turner film where, and I can't remember who was playing Tina Turner at the time, but she was saying to a judge, the judge is saying, well, you're going to walk away with nothing. And she goes, except my name. And she had a name, and that's what she grew off. That was her reputation. And it stuck with me for a long, long time, did that. I was only like 14 or something when that film was on. And it stuck with me for a long, long time because your reputation is vital. And if you're not protecting your reputation, and you protect your reputation, 1, by not doing bad things, obviously. 2, making sure you know your stuff. If you don't know your stuff, you're going to get caught out, and getting caught out can damage your reputation. You have to get educated on this stuff. That's why we do the property sourcing training. We'll put that post up. That's why we do the property sourcing training, because we want people to build a career over a long period of time. It's not a get rich quick scheme, that's for sure. It's hard work. You need to be compliant. You need to be educated. You don't get the experience until you actually go out and do it. Okay, so you can't, not everybody can be experienced, and we understand that, but everybody can be educated about it. And that's the bit that's kind of winding me up a little bit. You can't take something that's clearly illegal and try and sell it as an asset when, what would happen if that person bought the asset and then tried to convert it into a HMO? Like, could you imagine what would be the legal consequences of that? And you could go, well, there's no legal consequences because it's down to that person to do due diligence, and you might have a contract or clause in your contract that says, if you don't do your due diligence, like, why would you want to run a business like that in the first place anyway? Like, what good is that doing anybody at all? It's not doing anybody any good. You're screwing the guy that's bought it from you. You're screwing yourself because now you just ruined your reputation. Then you're in court, and it's all over Facebook. Because this, we're living in 2020, the social media thing. If there's reviews online everywhere, there are reviews on social media, there are people on social media that are going to call you out about your stuff. You can't do that these days. It's not 1975 or even 1955. Imagine how easy it is to commit a murder in 1955 compared to now. Do you know what I mean? And get away with it. You're never going to do it. Why are we talking about murder? Because someone's murdering these bloody deals. That's why. And it's winding me up. We've got to up our game. As property sources and as property sourcer trainers, we have to up our game. I don't want you to go out and do deals like this. I need you to go out and perform at a much higher level. Kobe Bryant thing was on last night. I was in tears again for 3 hours watching it. And it's like this, Kobe would get up at 5 a.m. and practice 3 or 4 times a day rather than once a day that all his other teammates are doing. And over a 5-year period, the distance between where they are and where he is are completely different. And I want you to be this guy, not this guy, or girl, not this girl. I need you to have that difference. Your reputation is at stake, and it's not just your reputation, but the reputation of everybody else. And if you can get known as being the person that goes out of their way to help people, then and do the right thing, and not just to get $2,500 as a finder's fee, but to actually build this relationship with the people that you're doing business with, so they come back to you time and time again. We're just doing a website right now for a chap who had a website that we did for them. And for whatever reason, they've lost access to it and it's no longer up. I don't know what the reason is, but he's come back to us and we're now doing his next website. And it's like, we're going, and actually that's happened twice, actually. 2 different guys, 2 different websites, completely separate reasoning. So, but they come back to us. And the reason they come back to us is that they know that we've really got their best interests at heart. We care about these people. We care about the impact that they will then have on their clients, and we want them to succeed. Like there's this thing of if you want it as bad as you want to breathe, then you will succeed. And we want it as bad as they want to breathe, right? We want them to be successful, because guess what? They'll then recommend their clients to us, and we do their website too, for example. But if you just always get a website, make a crap website and get it out the door, that's not how this stuff works. And if let's just find a deal, it's a bit dodgy, but let's just get it through. That's not how that works. For the next 20 years, you don't want to meet someone at a networking event and go, you screwed me over, mofo. You don't want that. I was just talking last night or the day before about somebody who screwed me over, who may or may not run a large property trading company. When I spoke out against a solicitor who was trying to stop me seeing my kids, and I spoke out about them at an event, and it was really interesting because it's like, you could hear a pin drop and tumbleweeds. It's like a shootout at the OK Corral. And the guy phoned me up afterwards and said, oh, you shouldn't have done that as a time and place. I'm like, that's right, mofo. That was a time, that was a goddamn place. If you don't support me, you can jog on. I don't try not to swear in this one. You can jog on. I've not spoken to that guy for about 8 years because his reputation, as far as I'm concerned, is completely and utterly ruined. That's not what it's about. It is about you doing the right thing when you can do the right thing. That is what it's about right there. So you've got to step up your game. You need to be better than everybody else, and you get better than everybody else through learning, doing, as in implementing, learning from the implementation, learning some more, doing. It's like an ESA loop. An ESA loop is what's an ESA loop? An ESA loop is you have an emotion that causes a state, and the state causes an action, and the action causes an emotion. We'll do ESA loops on Friday actually, but it all feeds off each other, and it's like a downward spiral if you're feeling bad, and an upward spiral if you're feeling good. And when you go out of your way to do extra special work for people, and you get the result that you want for people, over the next 20 years, that compounds over a period of time, and your reputation is up here, whereas everybody else's reputation's down here. And that's the bit that I need you to step up on. If you're a property sourcer, it is hard. We know it's hard. It's time consuming. We know it's time consuming. It's heartbreaking sometimes when you get to the end and the deal falls through yet again. But when you get those deals through, you'll get better at doing those deals. The more deals you get across the line, the more deals you will get across the line. It's like, it's this like the tipping point, no deal, no deal, no deal. Oh, my first deal, no deal, no deal, no deal. My second deal, my third deal, no deal, no deal. Fourth deal, fifth deal, sixth deal, no deal. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, no deal. The no deals become less and less frequent, and the more deals you get through, they become more and more frequent. There's a name for that. There's a specific scientific term for that. I can't remember what it is, but it's basically the more you do and the more you succeed, the more you're going to succeed. I can't remember what a scientific name is for that. But it starts from you putting in the work, putting in the action. Forget about taking shortcuts. Do your homework. Do your research. Have a checklist so you don't forget if you're brand new at this. But this is where you've got to step up with your property sourcing and your property investing. You've got to be better than that. We just paid some money over to a handyman, and he's like, "Can you send me some cash over? A bit short. He needs to go out and buy some stuff." And I sent him double what he needed. And I'm like, "Dude, I don't want you to be short of cash. Well, that's not why we're doing this. I don't want you to be stressed and have anxiety about the fact that you've got some cash flow issues right now. Let me send you some extra money over. That will reduce that. I've taken it from a budget in 5 months' time, and we'll just peter it out over a period of time. Don't worry about it." So now he's happy, and obviously he wants to work more with me, and actually we're discussing a pay rise as well, because it's not about the money. It's about him being available, making me number one, because he's not a directly employed person, and I don't want them directly employed, because then I've got all sorts of things I have to provide for them, like pensions, and he goes off and works for other people too. So from an IR35 point of view, that's fine. But I want him to think of me first when, if he's got 5 people, we've all got urgent jobs, I want him to do my job first. And so we do that because over the next 5 years, everyone else is down here and I'm up here. This is where your reputation is going to count. And we've got to get you doing the right thing at the right time, in the right order, at the right place, putting the right work in, doing the right checks. Even if that means you lose, it doesn't matter. Because ultimately you will win over time. White men can't jump. When you lose, you really win. If you remember that film, very basketball oriented. So white men can't jump. When you lose, you really win, and when you win, you really lose. There's no harm in losing a deal because you've done the right thing. That isn't a loss. That is you building your reputation over time. You don't get paid for a reputation today. You get paid for your reputation in 20 years, in 10 years, in 5 years. That's when you actually get paid for it. But it's about you guys doing the right thing at the right time to make sure that these people are getting the right result and that you're looking after them. Because when you do that, they're going to come back and they're going to work with you even more. That's a nice little rant there. Quite enjoyed that one. But that will do us for today. Hope that's useful for you. We're going to catch up with you on Friday in the Mastermind group, Mindset and the Hustle show, and we'll speak to you then. Hope you have a good week. We'll speak to you then. Take care.